My name is Coach Wamaitha. My name is Coach Wamaitha, and today I would like to speak on exercising grace for others. And we are going to take this lesson from what we've learned or what we've read from Jonah in the Bible, as well as from Jesus. So we live in a world that so quickly points fingers when someone stumbles. We rush to name, to shame, and to blame them. We see their weaknesses, what they should have done instead of what they did. We see their mistakes or even their sin, and somehow forget that we too have areas that we stumble in as well. So in Matthew 7, 3-5, Jesus spoke of this, and he said, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? So first you take out the plank in your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. He wasn't saying that sin doesn't matter, but he was just reminding us the posture of our heart really matters first. So grace begins with humility, which is recognizing our own flaws before condemning someone else's flaws. In the book of Jonah, we see this tension clearly. So when Jonah was called to preach to Nineveh, a violent and sinful, he was called to preach to Nineveh, a violent and sinful city, but he ran away instead. And sorry, one second. And he ran away instead. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I received a call. Yeah, so, and he ran away instead of going to Nini, but because deep down, he actually didn't want them to receive God's mercy, because he knew God was going to be merciful, because God was merciful to him first. So even after God saved him from the sea and Jonah finally delivered the message when Nineveh repented, he was angry. So he said, this isn't what I said. This is in Jonah 4, verse 2. Isn't this what I said, Lord? Jonah complained. That's why I fled, because I knew you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger, abounding in love. Jonah wanted grace for himself when he was rescued from the fish, again when given a second chance to live, but he didn't want grace for the people of Nineveh. He forgot that the same mercy that saved him was enough to save them. So this brings us to the question, how often do we do the same? We excuse our temper, we excuse our pride, our hidden compromise, yet hold someone else's failure as proof that they are beyond redemption. Unajua huyo hata awe, huyo akona, we judge the speck in their eye, forgetting the log of impatience, sometimes jealousy, or even pride in our own. So exercising grace to others means that first remembering too that we are recipients of undeserved grace. Each and every one of us has been forgiven at some point for something, or for many things. Another one is looking at others not through the eyes of offense, but through the eyes of God's compassion, because God sees us all the same. We also need to pray and ask the Lord to help us see them as he sees us. So because the grace that found Jonah is the same grace that met Nineveh in their repentance, and is the same grace that meets us every day. Think of someone, close the door, please. Think of someone in your life who has failed, disappointed, or hurt you, and ask yourself, what is the log in my own eye? Maybe it's a worker, a co-worker, or a family member, or a spouse, and you pray, Lord, help me see them through your mercy. The same mercy that never gave up on me. So may we become people who do not just receive grace, but also pour it out generously on those who need it the most. Thank you.